is also different now.
For this UBS, you can create a snapshot, not a problem. We'll go there. Now select the volume. It's up and running. Very nice. You are not able to associate this volume with your instance. You mean to say?
This is the Windows server. I mean, this is the instance. I'm not able to see here like whatever I did.
Just scroll down a bit. Just scroll down a bit. It will not come there by default. Okay, very much.
If you look at the console, that volume page, it says available. It doesn't say in use.
It's not use. And that is what it is actually. She did not associate it rightly to the server. We will help her actually. I got that. Right. So minimize this screen, Skanya.
Which screens until the Windows server?
No, it is okay. Now you are on the screen, right? You click on the volume, which is in blue color, which says available. No, select that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now go to action. Action. AC is the one on the top. No, top. Yeah. Action. Yeah. Attach. Attach volume. Your screen, I could not see the screen. I think you stopped it. Don't toggle. I'll go back. Sukanya. Sukanya.
Okay, sorry, my network problem. Are you able to hear us until now?
You have to share your screen for me to see.
Host thing is disabled now.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir.
What is this tag?
Tagging is basically an additional information actually. Like I will teach you that. Say suppose you're creating the server for finance department and this is a role of a development server, test server, something like that. Tagging is basically additional information about that machine actually.
Okay. So snapshot ID and all is not mandatory, right?
Snapshot ID is an internal information actually about the snapshot, whatever has been created to identify within the AWS world.
Okay, but we need not tag, select any attribute. It's not mandatory, right?
No, by default it is not mandatory because the number of volume, number of disk, number of snapshot we create is very small. Imagine a large scale environment where you have to run hundreds of servers and thousands of volumes. And in that case, you'll easily get confused which volume is what belong to and where it is and stuff like that. And every time when you try to debug, it will become another project actually. If you have a tag associated for that information, it will be easy for you to navigate and figure out what is what. It's a more information. It's about information about the the services.
So now we have to always select general purpose in like when we generally build.
No, need not to be. General purpose is one type of volume. See, you got different type of volume, right? That is what I told you. Each volume is designed to meet certain performance benchmarking. I will show you again.
So now we can create general purpose, right?
You can create general purpose. You can create high SSD1, high performance, big throughput, all those things. Yeah, different type of combination can be put in place to deliver a performance in the ground. Let's finish off with Sukanya. Sukanya, you're not able to show her because Arvind, I think you become a host again. Can you assign the role to her back?
I
Arvind,
got it, Senthil. I'm able to see it now.
you got it? Excellent.
Yeah,
Which is
got it.
all right. So now you are to now delete it, right? So we'll have to see the procedure as well, right? How do we delete it?
Okay.
So
First, we have to detach and then we have to delete, right?
yeah, exactly. It's a reverse steps.
Got
Perfect.
got
That
it,
is how
got
it
it.
is.
Then.
So delete and clear everything, whatever you people have created, and you know.
So can I just share the? Shall I
Yeah,
on my
sure.
camera?
Oh, yeah, please do that,
Yeah,
Rashid.
yeah.
So
Can I say it?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Here I've created this 5 GB one. Okay.
It's still loading. Just give us a second.
Attaching, it's from.
For me, sir, I mean, I'm not getting the attach, but it's disabled and detach.
Because maybe it is in a different zone. Okay. See the resources, no, the volumes, instances, everything ought to be. See, if you wanted to attach the EPS to a respective server, both ought to be in the same zone. That's a thumb rule. See, you can't create a disk in one data center, and you know you cannot attach that with a different data center because data center to data center resources are not allowed.
No, it's in all same zone. I can see all are same.
Then not a problem. We'll look at it actually. It's very easy. Am I seeing whose screen now?
This is
Prasenjit's screen.
Rakshit. Rakshit.
I see Prasenjit names. Yeah. Yeah, Rakshit.
Can I see it?
I did not. You share it, no? Once you
No,
by default.
I've turned on the camera.
Yeah. Your camera is not showing anything to us. We are in a Zoom meeting.
Do
Rakshit.
I have to be the host?
Yeah, you have to be in a host. Yes.
I'm not the host right now.
Senthil, you are the host now.
I am the host now. Let me give the permission to Rakshit. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, can you see now?
It is blank. I don't know. Anybody else able to? Now it is coming. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to select the screen and then select that option, Rakshit. Otherwise, it doesn't come.
Inside Windows, where we have to search? Inside, once you go to install, we are in the instance, what we have to search?
What do you have to search? The additional disk?
Yeah, for disk, additional disk.
Disk manager, server manager, yeah, or computer management or whatever it is. Then you'll have to select disk manager.
Create and format disk partition, the control application, there is a.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This one. Yeah, it is showing me now.
Very good, very good, very good. So everybody are through with this?
Yes, Senthil.
Yeah, it created, but I'm not able to.
Prasenjit, I just wanted to address your query now. Tell me, Prasenjit, you are asking something you're not able to attach and detach, right?
No, detach is there, but attach I'm not able to.
Okay. Now, can we, Rakshit, can you transfer the host back to Prasenjit?
Yes.
Are you going from instances or going from volume? Because if you go from volume, instances will not be.
No, from instance, you can't do it. You'll have to go to the volume and then select associate that with the instance. That's okay. We will help him, no? Yeah, I think it is now with whom? Permission. Host permission is Prasenjit, yeah.
Yeah, it is with me.
So delete volume, right? Just a delete, it will delete it.
So this is what I have got. My
Oh, okay. Now there is nothing in the server. That means it is not associated. It. Minimize it. Go to the console, management console. Which volume?
This is the volume. And this is
Yeah. Just go default. That's it. Which you will have to see which zone you are creating this volume, or which volume this volume should be used by which instance. You select the instance, name the instance. No, click on the name in the top. Yeah, put the name now. Prasanjit. Windows, your name. Okay. Done. Now go to volume. Where it is? US East to C. It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Availability zone.
Create volume, right?
Great volume. Yes.
Do you need to give a snapshot ID or something?
No, don't do it. Just leave it as it is for now. Just for it, this is only volume perspective.
That's it, right? Or
yeah, create it. You're creating 100 GB volume. Okay.
Or I can give one only.
Take 10 GB. 10 GB is okay. Okay. Close. Now select the volume, the one which is available. Yeah. Action.
Okay, now I think attach will come.
Yeah. There you go. Select the instance. Windows, right? Yeah. Touch. So it's associating now. See the blue color turned to green color. Right? State.
Right.
It takes a bit time.
Okay.
Okay, now go to the server.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
And okay, now come out of the server.
Close it, is it, or just minimize?
No, minimize it. Just minimize it. And now select this and delete it. It should go there also. Detach. Yeah. Now again action, you have deleted once after that.
Delete volume, right?
Delete all. Yeah. Okay. Any other question from anybody? Anybody has got any doubt, guys? I think this class is good so far.
Senthil, do we do the same thing for Linux also?
Yeah, the same procedure. Yeah, there is nothing different actually. The volume with respect to EBS, it remains the same. You can try. You want to try, Prasanjit?
Yes, I can try.
Yeah. Are you running any OS Linux instance?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Where is my Linux instance? Oh no, I think it was not coming up, so I have closed it. Okay.
You deleted? No, it's gone now.
Yeah, I've deleted it.
Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry. You can't create a volume of Windows and associate that with Linux. You have to create a right volume for Linux because
Right.
it's a file system. Create a volume for Linux.
So first you have to start it or
Yeah,
connect.
you can create a volume. Anything can be done.
Again. Can Linux and Windows instance run in parallelly or?
Yeah, it can run in parallel. But the volume, the volume, whatever you're creating it for Windows is a different volume because the file system of Windows is different and the Linux file system is different actually. So here you'll have to select.
Okay. So then
Great. So make something Windows, whichever you wanted to associate.
so this is the Linux one.
Name that. Yeah, use that. You saw the change, right? In Windows, it did not say that.
Yeah.
For Linux, it says that. What was the device name it got? VXDCB something, right? Anyway, it's okay. We'll go there and inside we'll see that.
So I have to start the.
Connect to the OS console through PuTTY. Yeah, it's done. Go.
Once. Let me check which one was that. Oh, this is the one.
It's okay. Yeah. Just open it. Yeah, save. Yeah. No, the PEM file is not the right PEM file for this server. You have to change that PK. Yeah.
And this is the Ubuntu instance.
That is RHEL, the one which you are associating it. Try opening that. Yeah, it's okay. We'll see. We don't know what is the key. With one of the key, it should open. No. Is it Ubuntu Linux or RHEL Linux?
I think, okay, this was the RHEL Linux.
Then, okay. RHEL Linux, and you are trying to associate,
You can't, is it?
you can't. See, the keys and passwords are different, right? For each server, it has its own private and public key. It is like you're trying with the password of a Linux server in a, RHEL Linux server with a different server of Ubuntu.
Probably I'll select this one.
Use that one, yeah. What is that?
This is also Linux.
This is also Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to volume and associate that with this machine.
To create another one, is it? Or
No. The same volume. Select the volume. Action. Attach.
detach and then attach, right? Or what?
You have to detach and attach it to other server. Correct. You know the correct server, no?
Yeah.
So now you got the answer, right? Somebody was asking me, I think Abhishek or somebody, can I use the same volume to be, in multiple server? It doesn't allow generally.
Yeah. Here it was showing like in use, right? So once it is attached
Yeah.
to one, it was showing. Yeah.
Correct. It is that
Only
is
the available one we can
correct.
do. Okay. So there we have to do a what? Disk space or df minus k, or what? What do you do there?
The DF, disk file system. DF space minus K is a KB.
Yeah.
DF minus G is GB. Yeah, right. You see that? Which is how many GB that disk? 8 GB, yeah?
It was 10 GB. Okay, now it is. I think, let me see again. So which one is that? Which one got added?
You see that /dev/xvda2.
Okay. This is
Yeah. 12% it
sorry,
says.
12%. Right. Okay.
That's okay.
Oh, the 10 GB. Okay.
Correct. See, you can list all the devices. You can say ls space /dev. No, okay, yeah. See, these are all mount point actually. Here is where actually you'll have to come and see. Arvind is a master here. We need to call Arvind actually. Arvind. Hello. Arvind, you are on mute. Huh? Arvind went outside.
All the terminals are listed. Okay, there are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the simple command is df only, disk file system space, h or something or whatever it is.
Okay. You can add multiple volumes, right?
Hello, Prasanjit.
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to list it?
So I've added another 6 GB.
Yes. Okay. But in the mount point name, you'll have to note down actually. Otherwise, you'll not be able to figure out here actually. Right? The one which is listed there, no? The Linux file system conversion during the time it says it will be visible as this mount point.
Okay.
Hi, Senthil, this is Arvind. I'm extremely sorry, I mean, my laptop hung up on me. So I was unable to come out of mute.
Okay. I was keep calling your name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. DF-H would be better. That's the human readable format.
DF-H, yeah.
DF-H. CLEAR, clear.
So now I added another 6 GB. So where did it go?
It should be inside only. If you are associated rightly and it is inside this machine, then it should list here.
It was.
But I'm unable to see a screen. Yeah. Can you share a screen? Okay. Now you clear everything. Yeah, correct. Okay. Makes sense. Now run the command df-h. Okay. So you got /dev/shm/sys cg group /run user 1000. Okay. So you see the device 1 xvda2 10 gig 10 GB which is come in here. What else you have done? 6 GB, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, refresh, you'll have to refresh it. Go to the your management console. Let me see. What is the name of that? 6 GB in use by which OS license? I mean, which instance? Is the same instance?
Yeah, same.
Scroll up. I mean, just drag the screen up little bit. Let me see. Go to instance of that particular instance.
Okay.
Yeah, SDG, correct. /dev/sdg.
I also had this problem.
Now sometime we'll have to refresh it. It will come.
Here.
Now this one.
Arvind.
Yeah, I had this problem as well, and it is persisting. I also rebooted the Linux machine, but that's not showing, and it's even showing in the M tab, which is the mount point find. So I don't know if you have to manually edit that.
Arvind, I think your network bandwidth is not there much for you, so your voice is slightly blubbering, right?
Okay, yeah.
You restart the instance once. But generally, we don't have to do. Technically, it comes by default actually.
So restart how? Exit and again log in, is it?
Now you just minimize the screen, go to the management console and restart there. That's it. Select this. Yeah. Action. Instance, state, reboot. Yeah. Reboot.
So that will still run or okay.
It'll go off, but if you select the putty and reinitiate the session, it'll come back. You don't have to. Okay, fine. Done.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it is running now.
Running now. That's quick. Status check. All perfectly all right.
This is gone.
Just reinitiate it on the top. Yeah. Restart session. Yes.
Oh. Again, I have to
Oh,
map.
connect again.
Map.
No. Go to the telnet. You go to your putty and then connect again. It will work. AWS Linux 2. No, what is it?
Yeah, Linux. No, because this things keep changing. So it is.
You select the right one, please. Yeah. Then you have to save it once properly. Go back in the main menu. Yeah, session. Now you save it. Save. That's it. Now open it.
Okay. No changes. This is the one, so I don't see any change.
A 10 gig one. Okay, go to your instance. Let me see. You minimize this. The Linux operating system troubleshooting. Instance. Click on an instance, please. That's the instance.
Yeah, Linux 2.
Yeah. One second. Yeah, just select the instance. Yeah, scroll. Yeah. Click on the description villa. Scroll down a bit. One after the other. We'll go. Where is the desk here? VPC ID, launch time. See, one is a root device, and you associated 3 devices to it. Block device /SDA1, SDF, SDG. Sorry, 2 device. The root and block is SDA1. Where is that? /dev XPDA2.
So where is
Just
this?
click on that. The block device /dev /SDF. Open that.
Attached. How do I open? Just click on it, is it?
Click on it. EBS ID it is.
This is 10 GB.
This is 10 GB, right? That is visible there. I saw that. Go back to other one, 6 GB,
And
whatever
then
you
the
said.
other one.
See, it says /dev /SDF attached. You have to mount it. I think it's not mounted.
Yeah.
Looks like. Okay. For you to see in the system, you'll have to mount that in the operating system. Make a note of that mount point /dev SDA BA whatever it is. No, here it's a different name. For the Linux OS, it's a different name. Just select that SDG. Yeah, click that button /dev/SDG.
So attached.
No, open that.
So
You
this
make
is
a
the
note of
6
it
GB one.
/6GB one, right? It is what is called /dev/SDG, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go to your putty. Mount. Arvind.
So to mount this one, is it?
Yeah. Mount.
So that cannot be done from the console?
You can't, right? you have to format the file system, right? The mount command syntax, can you give them, please? It is what? /dev/SDG.
Yeah, mount.
MOUNT mount or MNT, whatever you wanted to use, you can use.
Yeah, mount
/dev/SDG DV/SDG and space where you want to mount.
Yeah, space. Yeah, just say /home.
Okay. There is no home, I think. Home is there.
I don't think
Okay, root.
you have to create a directory now. You'll have to you'll have to associate that. You create a directory called Prasanjit in the root mkdir prac. Okay, right now use the command mount. Where is Prasanjit? Is mount all also you can do, but mount all means what? It will come back. Where are you? Home EC2-user, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Say mount. You are not a root, I think, boss. You'll have to say sudo root. Sudo space root.
Say sudo space su.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Or hyphen. But sudo itself is not found. Okay.
Now you say mount. Now if you list the disk, it may list here, I think. But anyway, we'll mount it. No, it's not there. Okay. No, mount. /dev/SDG space. What is the point? Home /EC-2-user, right?
This with
No, yeah, you are not in the root. No, that is what I'm saying. /home. Yeah, not existent.
SDG doesn't exist.
The name is changed inside the OS. That's another problem. I don't know where they associate it.
I think these are the things.
Yes, XPDA1, XPDA2, right? These are all the one we have saw inside. You select either one of them, XVDG, root disk. Oh, it is in the root itself.
All are in root.
By default, it just goes to the root actually.
SDG is not there. So XVDG. Oh, nothing. Wrong FS type. Bad option.
Okay, not a problem, Prasenjit. Use this command to list that one. You go to the root sudo sudo space.
Yeah.
I mean root.
So I'm on root.
You're on the root. So there is a command called lsblk list block. All the devices which is associated with this, it will show there. Just type that lsblk. So you see that now. We are 6 gig, 10 gig, 10 gig. All those things coming now.
Okay.
Got it. XVDA, GF, XVDG, everything is coming, right?
Right.
Correct. How to make that as a readable file format in the Linux type, something we will worry about later, but I just wanted to make it short.
Yeah.
It is available. Okay. Okay. Good. So we'll come back to the console. So who has not practiced? Who wanted to practice Linux now? Anybody wants to practice? Team? Hello. Rakshit?
Yeah.
Abhishek? Ajit?
Yeah.
You guys wanted to detach and attach your disk for the Linux instance? We can very well do that.
Yes,
If
we
you
can
find
do.
it any challenge, yeah, try it out, please.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I'll share or
Senthil, just wanted to know, like, how long it will continue for today, like, for another. Okay, yeah.
Class.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Suganya, any doubts, Suganya, you have?
Not until I was able to do it for Linux also.
Very good, very good. So you're able to list the file system and see that, no? See, maybe, I don't want it to leave it in the middle actually. So Prasenjit, to answer your question, okay, what happens actually the moment you provision the moment you attach the volumes, the operating system recognize that volume actually, okay, something which is a new, block which has come in to be, read by me. But by default, it is not readable, writable. There is a procedure in your Linux and Unix world. The number one is you need to format the file system. Okay, for that you need to create a file system. Basically, you'll have to assign the file system back. Maybe you can do that actually. There is a command, a specific command for Linux. Especially it is, you created a directory in home/ec2-user/Prasenjit, right? What you do, just say mount. You have to be the root and then /dev and file path vdg or what is it, whatever it is, and then space the your full path. Then you end it with /. Then it will mount it actually. Only thing is, you did not create any file system or a file partition for it, like /root or whatever it is. For that, you need to use a command actually to make a file system, right? That is something called make fs, make file system or whatever it is. That is a command to be used. You should do that first, and then you can define this as an external disk or something. You can give some name like ext1 2 3 4 whatever it is, then followed by the path, then create a directory. You already created a directory and you can mount it. Then it will mount actually. That's a way forward. Okay, Prasenjit?
Yeah,
Hello?
got it. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, that is the way to do it, team. I mean, I don't want to teach Linux, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? I want to teach cloud. It will be boring actually. Okay, so let's get back to console, guys. Let's take a stock of situation as where we are today and what all things we touched in line to our class. Okay. Who's the host? Prasanjit, can you make me host, please? Yeah, thank you. Okay, right. So today, what we touched, let's understand from the course content. Our objective is to identify, okay, these are all okay, high level things. I believe, we are all able to navigate the management console to the fullest extent. We did go through the storage option. We did go about the compute, and we will talk about database option and all those things, right? From a course curriculum perspective.
So with respect to certification, do they ask commands also? Is Linux commands anytime or only about no, right?
No. Commands they will not ask actually, but they will try to test your knowledge. Okay, in a different way to see like that's the way it is. Okay, so now we all understand what is cloud, what is why cloud computing, benefit of cloud, and all those things, right? Introduction about AWS, cloud computing, cloud deployment, service model, infrastructure of global infrastructure, AWS services, in ways to access the AWS services. We signed up an account, right? We launched an S3 instance, and storage, we completed our EBS portion of it. We'll go to S3 in a next class, all right? And we did do what? EC2 spinning up Linux Windows is fully over. Connecting them using PuTTY and RDP is fully over. Right, vertical scaling and upping, and then those things can be done actually. Security group we touched today. You guys created a different port group. You have enabled the port, disabled the port, and all those things. I believe completely this has been taken care of it, right? Understanding the block level storage, using the UBS, configuring them, associating for Windows and Linux, all those things been taken care of it. And we understand now what is AMI, different type of AMI, and those aspect of it. And we know how to start, stop, terminate the instances. We understand security group, right? We also know the different storage services and components of it, right? Attaching an EBS volume externally has been done, right? So snapshot is a simple step. Probably we can cover that in the next thing. Security management, identity and access management, we understand the best principle of it. Now we know access billing, we are in a free tier. Okay, multi-factor authentication, I don't think we can do that. That's something different that I'll teach you guys. So load balancing and auto scaling DNS will cover it up. Network and the monitoring service will cover it up next week. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay. This load balancing, auto scaling, these are done by what? Kubernetes, is it?
No. See here, multiple web servers, like multiple EC2 instance will create. Okay, sort of a web server, and we will create a load balancer and load all three web servers will run a web service, and that service will be listened through one single IP address from outside. So one server goes down, also the service will still continue to run. Actually, the purpose of load balancer is that to make sure that our web application doesn't go down. Example, your ICICI.com, where you do your financial transaction. right? Even one server goes down also, it will not be visible outside actually. This is most important parameter, AWS architecture, design and framework. Once after the foundational things, I'll go there. Okay. This is what actually the key for us in terms of understanding well architected framework, security, reliability, performance, all those things we'll have to learn actually as an architect. Then we'll wind up for it. I think we are good. We are going in a good direction. So far, we are all able to grasp faster. I'm happy about it. Guys, any question? If you have, please feel free to ask. I think Rashid, you wanted to leave. You can go. So enjoy your weekend. I'll just a few more minutes continue. Question and answer with the rest of the team.
Until one question.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Yeah, like not a question. Like so, like we have covered like almost like 16 hours of session, right? Like 2 day session. So related to this, like if you can give us some assignment in terms of number of questions or something, either just a mock kind of questions.
We can do that actually, absolutely. So
Yes, if you.
So are there any dumps so that we can practice or something based on?
No, don't go with a dump, right, Prasanjit? That is for the practice of exam. Okay, exam practice will do. Dump is okay, but when you want to learn something really, please learn it. Actually, don't follow the book. I mean, probably I can ask a question actually. Now, I am the you all, as part of my team, and we are in a project. Project is asking us to, work together to create or migrate the existing application which is running on-prem. Example, one of the application is SAP, and another application could be .NET application, right? If at all I need to migrate this application, what all the prerequisite you guys will have to call out? What would be the ideal functional requirement for you to create those instances?